If you're paying them a good amount as well, if you're paying them more than what their property is worth, and they cannot possibly in any other scenario get that kind of money, they're willing to work with you. You're doing them a favor. You're both benefiting from the transaction. And what you were saying earlier about when you go to someone, you go into them with money. People want a return on their money. They're looking for investments. It's a service, it's a business, it's a transaction. Because you need finance for your deal, it doesn't mean that you're struggling or you've got your hands out or you're begging. Like, it's about your thinking, isn't it? If you elevate your position, you're the man of the deal. You're the man. You've got the amazing deal, and you can pull the experienced people together and deliver that deal. Money's everywhere. So you get to choose what money you want. They don't dictate to you. But if you don't have the deals secured, then you're going to find yourself dictated to. Whereas if you've got the deals secured, you can't. What can they do? You say, all right, no thanks. That doesn't work for me. Go to the next one. I've had deals that I've had on options tied up for months because I've been busy, and then I've put it through to some people to work with, and they've gone no, and they've gone all right, fine, I'll wait again. And then eventually somebody you work with in the end. So you control the deal, and you don't need a lot of money to do that because they should be willing to work with you because you've offered a good price. I'm just looking for scale now. So I'm looking at really 300 plus beds. So there's not many buildings I can get 300 beds in that I can convert into 300 beds because they're just not really around. So what else do you want me to specifically talk about when it comes, or what do you want to, because I can talk about a specific deal. What do you want to, what are you trying to get over in your head?
I want to know what was the turning point of why you chose to do big deals and why you didn't do it earlier. What stopped you from doing it earlier?
Turning point, I was just, so doing lettings and management, I was doing a bunch of work, and you know, when you're a property manager, you're making a slice of the rental income that's coming in. So it was more about making money. Also, as part of the, in fact, it was a few factors. What, you didn't have control over the property as well. So as a lettings or managing agent, or even on the rent to rent, if the lease comes to an end, that owner can take it back, and then you've lost your income source then. So I lacked control, true control over the deal. True control I lacked. I lacked making a lot of money on it as an owner would ordinarily. So control, money, and tenant experience. So if you're dealing with if you've got a rent to rent and it requires, and it was okay for the first 2 or 3 years, and you've got to year 4 and you've got to spend 50 to 60K, you may not be willing or have the funds to do that. You're in a position because you're going to struggle to go back to the landlord that you've leased it from and say, spend 50K please. So you're struggling. And not just that, even if you've got the funds, why would you want to potentially spend 50K on a rent to rent? It's not your property. It was a big deal, maybe. So it was just not having control over all these areas. So it got to a stage where I worked out, look, it's easier for me to manage a block of apartments. It's a lot easier than managing separate properties. Separate properties, you've got separate boilers, separate roofs, separate issues, a bunch of different tenants in those properties. One property, apartment block, you've got one garden, if it's got a garden, one roof, one entrance hall, maybe one main door coming in, but yet you've got all these apartments in there. So you make a lot more money, it's a lot easier to manage, and I get to control, and at this stage now I'm involved from the design stage. I get to design it how I want. So I get to deliver what the tenant wants, where they want it, and then I still get to benefit from making more money from the hard work that I'm putting in that I would ordinarily put into a property that I manage. So it was all these, just over the years, it was like, this isn't making sense, but it was like it was a gradual process for me to work out that was what I needed to do. And then the other bit was trying to get there in your head. It wasn't so much that I didn't think I could do it, because without sounding arrogant, I've got a high level of self-efficacy. So I feel like I can do anything, literally. I feel like if I wanted to stop now and be an astronaut, I honestly feel like I can go to NASA and like just become an astronaut. I can't. So I've just got a high level of self-efficacy when it comes to anything. So it's more just, I was trying to figure out, how do I do this? How do I work on that?